Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. All right. So, let's just start with, and let me pull up my copy of the audition. Let's start with the major scales. How do you all feel about the major scale portion of this so far?
Pretty good.
Okay. Fingerings are going well. You understand where all the accidentals are in each of these? Okay, so what is the first major scale that you have in this?
A.
A major. And what are the accidentals that you have?
Accidentals.
Are they sharps or flats, first off?
Sharps.
Okay, how many?
3.
And what are their names? What's the first one? Just looking back at the very beginning at that key signature, right? What's that first one?
C.
That's the second one. You know that the second one is a C, so just count up lines and spaces, right? The next line would be a D.
Oh,
The next space is an E. Go up one more to that top line, that very top line of the treble clef staff.
F.
F. So it's an F sharp. We have F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. Okay? So you have to remember those as we go through. So let's just play that first scale. Now, has Mr. Luck talked to you about C sharps and Ds and what we need to do on those? There's a very specific thing we have to do to the trumpet when we play those notes. Okay, so you each have a ring, right? I can't see your trumpet exactly. Do you have a ring right here?
Nope.
Okay, well, you can get a ring at like Eckroth Music. They can put one on for you. But what you need to do,
But no screw.
right? They can replace the screw as well. It's a simple fix. What you need to do is extend that a little bit. It tends to be a little bit sharp of where it should be. The pitch is too high. So we extend the trumpet just a little bit by kicking this slide out. We make it in tune. Okay? So if you can't move it, that's all right. Just remember that you need to do that. And when you're playing in band, you might have to just kind of try to get the pitch to go a little bit lower. Let's play that first scale. Oh, one more thing. Sorry, I told Mr. Luck we would be done at a specific time. And I need to make sure I set an alarm so that we don't go past that. All right, we're all set. Let's find our first note. So, what is the fingering for A? Fingering for A is always the same. So what is the so the fingering for that second space A is 1 and 2. It's the same thing an octave below, right? 1 and 2. So let's find that first note again. You had it. Yep. You have to relax just a little bit. And so you've got braces. Did you just get those recently?
I got them last year.
Okay. So braces tend to make things a little uncomfortable, and they stick to your lips, and they can make it hard to move between things. So one thing to keep in mind if you have braces, don't push back against your face very hard. You have to try and keep the trumpet where it is and just use the smallest amount of pressure against your lips that you can. Otherwise, the braces will stick to your lips, and then you can't play. So there's also wax you can put on your braces. That really helps. I had braces when I was your age, so so keep that in mind. All right, first note again, and we'll start going up the scale. 2, 3. All right, we'll go a little slower. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's just play the first 3 notes. First 3 notes. So, what is the fingering for the first note?
1 and 2.
1 and 2. What's the next one?
1.
Not quite. Make sure you look at it. It's a B natural. What's the fingering for B natural? It's always the same. 2, right? Okay, the next note is what?
C sharp.
C sharp. What's the fingering for low C sharp?
All down.
All of them down indeed. Let's play the first 3 notes now that we know all the fingerings. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Now let's go up to the next one. What's the next note?
D.
And the fingering for that is
1 and 3.
1 and 3. So we won't go in the rhythm. We'll just go through each note and I'll conduct it. 2, 3. Yep. Okay, so remember C sharp. If you need to write it in, write it in. That's what I do. So do you have a pencil?
No.
Okay. Here's a pencil. Write in the C sharp. Okay. First 4 notes. 2, 3. Okay, now, without me playing. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Almost there. Can I hear you by yourself? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's just find that first note. Okay. Try perhaps moving the mouthpiece down a little bit. There you go. And tone got a little bit better too, right? So you might need to do that just in general. Just all the time think about maybe moving it just a little bit downward. And I've got these here as well. Have you used these before? The coffee straws?
Yeah.
Okay. So you know what to do with these then? Alright. I'll give you each one. I want you both to show me then what Mr. Lupt has shown you to do with the coffee straw. It may not fit through your mouthpiece. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. Very good. Yeah. So, what might help you is to bring that lower jaw just a little bit forward to make the teeth meet up. You're not quite used to the position of like where the mouthpiece sits because of the braces, which I understand because I had braces too. So bring your lower jaw just a little bit forward. I think it might help. And also, the other thing we need to talk about is air, right? Does Mr. Luck talk to you a lot about using air?
Yeah.
So, even as young as you guys are, your lungs are actually pretty big. If they were a balloon, they would be about that big. And right now, we're breathing in about this much. We're breathing in a teacup when we could be, breathing in a couple of gallons. Does that make sense? So, here's what we're going to do. Just to practice getting a really good breath, what we're going to do, we're going to breathe all of our air out. All of it. And then, once you get all the air out, you will instinctively gasp for air, which can be a little bit uncomfortable, but you'll feel how your entire body just expands in every direction when that happens. It's the same thing that happens when you yawn, right? So we're just going to breathe out, and when you completely run out of air, just breathe in. And just as that happens, think about, try to take note of what happens with your chest, how it expands, how it feels to just feel your lungs fill up like that, okay? So start breathing out. Right, so how did that feel when you breathed in?
It's like
Right. And when you do that, when you play trumpet, if you take that same kind of breath, you feel like you can play anything. So if you work on that now, if you always make sure to take that breath now, when, 2 or 3 years from now, you'll be able to play anything you want. So always breathe like that. So let's play the first 4 notes of this major scale study, the A major scale. I'll just conduct each note. We'll do the same thing we were doing before, with that nice firm embouchure that we got from the coffee straws, and with a really big breath, okay? 2, 3. Alright, I changed it a little bit on you. Thank you for catching it. Okay, so let's jump from there, because I think you guys can do this. I think all it is a matter of, number 1, memorizing all of those fingerings. And that's not something I can teach you. That's something you'll have to just sit down at home and do. Other than that, all these scales sound the same. Sorry. They all sound like a major scale. As long as you have that sound in your ear and you know which fingers to push down, you're going to be fine. So let's jump then to the last 3 measures of this piece. You see where we're at? The key signature changes. What is our key signature now? Ignore the 2 naturals. Those are just as a courtesy to you to remember.
B
that
flat.
There's 1 B flat, yes, but what is the key signature? What key are we in?
F.
F, right? So what's our first note?
F.
What's fingering?
1.
1. Let's find that first note. Remember the nice firm embouchure. Maybe raise the tongue up towards the roof of your mouth just a little bit. Think he, right? And a big breath. 2, 3. So, higher still. Just you and I together, okay? There you go. Right, and it might take a little bit more firmness here, bringing the lips in together, kind of like you ever see those string bags, like a backpack, but they just have strings, and to close it, you just pull the strings, and it kind of comes down together into a, like that.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing with the lips. We're bringing them all in. Every muscle comes in together to one point, wherever that happens to be. For some people, it's here. For me, it's over here. We bring everything in towards that one tiny little point. We focus all that energy there, right? We direct all the air through that. So if we put more energy in here, it wants to stay closed more. It'll vibrate a little bit faster when we put air through it. Okay? So, more firmness right there. Let's find that F one more time. There you go. Now, let's try to play through the scale. 1, 2, 3. Right? So, always, let's just try buzzing. Let's just take off the mouthpiece, hold it in your left hand, 2 fingers, like this, like a teacup. Find that first note. I'll play it for you. Keep that in your ear. 1, 2, 3. Yep, getting there. Now let's try to go up. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's start on that note. Let's just go up as high as we possibly can and come back down. I'll demonstrate. And make it very, very, very loud at the top, right? That kind of sound. 1, 2, 3. So what did you notice that you had to do to get the pitch to go up?
Tighten my lips and
Mhm.
blow faster.
Mm-hmm. What else?
Firm enough?
Mm-hmm. You might also think about making a different syllable on the inside of your mouth, right? Sometimes when we play, we think toe, 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 and our tongue is just kind of at the bottom of our mouth. If we want to get more pressure, it's kind of like more air pressure. It's kind of like putting your finger over the end of a hose, right? The air's coming out at the same speed, but you put that finger in front of the hose, and what happens?
It's
It goes
harder.
faster.
Well, yeah, the water, like if you're say you have a garden hose and water's coming out, and you put your finger in front of the hose,
Goes
the end of the hose.
farther and
Yes.
faster.
Yep, shoots right out. So, if you raise up our tongue, say deer, e. If we make our tongue make that e sound, the pitch will go up, right? So, let's try that. So we'll find one note and we'll go do, yo, right? Think those sounds as you go up. 2, 3. All right. Now let me hear you two by yourselves. I'll give you a note. That's the note we're going for. That's where we're going to start. We'll go up from there and then back down. Okay? Same thing we just did. Let's find that note one more time. Okay. Now, mouthpieces alone. 1, 2, 3. Keep going along. I'm not going to play. I'm going to listen to you. So same thing. 1, 2, 3. Something like that. Okay. Let's try the chromatic scale study. This goes up very gradually. So, oh, wait, actually you don't need to do that for your audition, so I'm not going to make you do it. Let's just try the F major scale one more time. Okay? Let's get the first 4 notes. Do we know all the fingerings? What's the second note?
G.
Mm-hmm. What's the fingering?
Open.
Mm-hmm. What's the next one? Just show me.
A.
Okay. And the 4th note. What is it?
On the F scale?
On the F scale.
It would be G.
Not quite. So, first note is F. We go up 1 letter name to G. G is the end of our musical alphabet, so we have to start over. The next note then would be A. Going in through the alphabet, the next note is some kind of B, but if we look back at the key signature, it is what?
B flat.
B flat. There you go. Let's do the first 4 notes. 2, 3. Right. So, we have to find that first note. We got to make sure that the first note is high enough. Otherwise, the trumpet will not do anything we want it to do. So let's find that first note. There it is. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Well, don't be discouraged if a note that you want to hit doesn't come out. It takes time, and it's different for everyone. When I started playing trumpet, I couldn't play above that second line G. You know, I just couldn't do it. So if you keep in mind the things that we talked about today, what did we talk about? Just list off some of the things that we discussed.
Tightening your lips.
Mm-hmm. Keeping them nice and firm and focused in towards the center.
Putting your tongue up so the air comes out faster.
Mm-hmm. The he, t, that kind of sound. What else did we talk about? something we're doing right now. Involuntarily.
Breathing.
Breathing, right? So if we breathe in lots and lots of air, we use a lot of energy pushing that air out. You may feel some tightness here. Don't try to make the abdomen tight. Don't try to like that. That'll be counterproductive, but you might feel some tightness there. So lots of air. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of air. That's the biggest thing. Tons of air. Then focusing the lips in towards the center of the mouthpiece, nice and firm, and then raising up the tongue. If you keep working on that, you will get there. You will eventually. It will take time. You just have to be patient, but you'll be able to play up above the staff. So, do you guys have any questions for me before I let you go back to your normal band class?
Not really.
What was that?
Not really.
Not really? Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to give Mr. Luck my contact information, and if you guys have any questions, want to take lessons, anything like that, just talk to him, and I can have him put you in touch with me, and I'll help you out in any way I can. Okay? All right. Well, hopefully this was helpful, and good luck on your auditions coming up soon. Right? How much are you guys practicing? Just offhand.
Just a little bit a week.
A little bit a week. Aim for, when you practice, try to do it in maybe 10-minute bursts, right? Sit down for 10 minutes and play. Like if you're doing your math homework and you get stuck on a problem, put it down, pick up the trumpet, play through your scale. Like play through your A major scale, that first thing we did. And think about all those things we talked about, and then set a timer. Once it's been 10 minutes, go back to what you were doing. And do that 3 or 4 times a night. Maybe 30 to 40 minutes a night you'll get in practicing. That's quite a bit. You do that every day, you're going to improve a great deal very quickly. Okay? Cool. Thank you guys. I appreciate you being willing to be guinea pigs, basically. And again, I hope it was really helpful. So, I'll see you back in the band room.